Welcome back. Are you ready for another review from Metal Rocker 86? Well, here I am, reviewing another Def Leppard album. Let's see. I've done Pyromania. I've done Adrenalize. I know. Let's look at Hysteria. I don't think I need to give Def Leppard's backstory again, but if you'd like to hear it anyways, please go watch my review of Pyromania. But I will say that Def Leppard has a new album coming out in a couple months. On to the album. Hysteria is the fourth studio album released by Def Leppard, and it was released on August 3rd of 1987. It is Def Leppard's best-selling album to date. It sold 20 million copies around the world, including 12 million in the US. It even ranked first on both the US Billboard 200 and the UK Albums Chart. Originally, the album was going to be called Animal Instinct. It was released 4 years after its predecessor, Pyromania, and went through a series of delays. They went through so many producers in between Mutt Lange's departure and his return. Rick Allen had to have his arm amputated after a car accident in late 1984, and the band also made a custom-made drum for him. Mutt Lange was also involved in a car accident, and Joe Elliott caught the mumps. It got the name Hysteria from Rick Allen, referring to his accident and how the media covered it worldwide. It's also the last album they released before the tragic passing of Steve Clark. It consists of 12 songs, and altogether is about 62.5 minutes long. Everyone helps out on backing vocals for this one, but on lead vocals is Joe Elliott. On guitars we have Steve Clark and Phil Collen. On bass is Rick Savage, and on drums is Rick Allen. And also on backing vocals we have the Bankrupt Brothers, which consists of Def Leppard, Mutt Lange, and Rocky Newton. Now on to the songs, all of which were written by Joe Elliott, Rick Savage, Phil Collen, Steve Clark, and Mutt Lange. The first song we get to is a slower paced song which was also released as a single. It's called Women. Instrumentation. It starts off with a cool guitar intro. Then the bass and drums come in and they're the main focus for the verse. But then in the pre-chorus and chorus, the guitars return, stealing the show and getting you energized. The solos are also pretty cool. I should probably not describe the lyrics in this day and age, but it's a great song on the album. Now the tempo speeds up, and I love the energy in Rocket, which was also released as a single. Instrumentation. It starts off with a rocket launching sound, followed by a drum intro, then the guitars and bass come in, and everything can be heard equally. During the verse, the drums are the main focus, with some spurts of guitar and bass here and there. Then for the pre-chorus, the guitars are the main focus with the bass and drums in the background. During the drum solo, there is also a recording of Def Leppard song titles in reverse. The song title is actually a play on words, Rock It, and the lyrics reference various songs that are meaningful to the band. For example, Jack Flash, Rocket Man, Sgt. Pepper's, Major Tom, and Killer Queen are all mentioned. This was another great song on the album. This next song is moderately fast-paced, and it was also released as a single. It's called Animal. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the guitars in this one, but you can also hear the drums in the background. Things get much harder for the pre-chorus and chorus, and the solo is pretty cool. It was actually one of the most difficult songs for the band to record for this album. I should also probably not describe the lyrics for this one in this day and age, but this was another awesome song on the album. Now the tempo slows down as we get to Love Bites, which was also released as a single. Instrumentation. Again, the main focus is on the guitars with some background drums. It is somewhat soft for the verse, but in the pre-chorus and chorus things get much harder. From what I can see, the lyrics describe a guy who's in love with a woman, but he knows she will only use him. This was another great song on the album. Now the tempo speeds up and the energy will get you rockin'. This next one was also released as a single. You know what one it is. Pour some sugar on me. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the rock and guitars, but you can hear the drums in the background. As for the solo in this one, it's also pretty cool. There were many things that influenced this song, one of which being the first record that Joe Elliott ever bought, the Archies' Sugar Sugar. I should also probably not describe the lyrics in this day and age, but it's another great song on the album. The same tempo continues into this one, and it was also released as a single. It's my favorite song on the album, Armageddon It. Instrumentation. It starts off with a unique guitar intro, then the drums come in. The verse starts out with the drums as the main focus with some spurts of guitar here and there. Then the guitars come in and will get you rockin' in the chorus. And as for the solo, it's awesome! The song title is another play on words. Are you getting it? The song, from my interpretation, is about a guy who's in love with a woman, but she's not sure if she loves him. This was another awesome song on the album. The same tempo continues as we get to Gods of War. Instrumentation. It starts off with a unique intro to set the mood. Then the bass and drums come in at around the 50-second mark. The guitars then come in with a killer riff at around the minute and 10 mark. And as for the solo, it's rockin'! This is the only song on the album with political themes. Joe Elliott was watching the news once, and what he saw inspired him to write this song about taking on world leaders who start wars that their citizens will have to fight in. This was a good song on the album. Now the tempo speeds up as we get to Don't Shoot Shotgun. Instrumentation. The main focus again is on the guitars and they give off great energy, but you can also hear the drums in the background and the solo is really great. From what I can see, the lyrics describe a guy who's in love with a woman but she's very dangerous. This was another killer track on the album. Now the tempo really speeds up and the energy is high as we get to Run Riot. Instrumentation. The intro focuses on the energizing guitars and the drums come in at around the 15-second mark. During the verse, the main focus is on the drums with some spurts of energy from the guitars here and there. But the guitars return in full swing for the pre-chorus, chorus, and the rockin' solo. I interpret the lyrics as being about someone who lives on the edge, and this was another great song on the album. Now the tempo slows down as we get to the album's title song, Hysteria, which was also released as a single. Instrumentation. The guitars are very soothing in this one, but you can also hear the drums in the background. And as for the solo, it's pretty cool. As mentioned before, the song title was suggested by Rick Allen. According to Phil Collin, the song is about finding spiritual enlightenment, and this was another great song on the album. The tempo speeds up, and the energy returns as we get to Excitable. Instrumentation. It starts off with someone asking, "Are you excitable?" for about 15 seconds. Then it goes into some drums with a catchy guitar riff. I should also probably not describe the lyrics in this day and age, but this was another good song on the album. Now the tempo slows down as we get to the final song on the album, Love and Affection. Instrumentation. The main focus again is on the guitars with some background drums, and the solo is also pretty cool in this one. This is another song I should probably not describe the lyrics for in this day and age, but it was a good song on the album. So what did I like about this album? I really enjoyed listening to this one. The songs were all very well written, I really liked the instrumentation, and Joe Elliott did a great job on the vocals. The only thing I would have changed is I felt the album was too front-loaded. I would have taken some of the songs in the second half of the album and spread them around the middle. To conclude this, I will definitely recommend Hysteria, and I know you will enjoy it. Well, that's the end of this review. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to subscribe and share. Until next time, rock on!